Hey guys, Chris here, CaribbeanPod.com. Hope you're enjoying the recipes I've been sharing. A couple days ago I asked you guys if you guys would be interested in watching a video on how to make saltfish buljol. One of those classic, I can't stress how classic it is, dishes from the Caribbean. Saltfish buljol, guys. Remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, show me some love. Click on subscribe above. Below you're going to see the thumbs up. Give me the thumbs up. I can't say how important it is for helping this video to go viral. Leave me your comments below. And of course, you can always check out CaribbeanPod.com for the latest recipes, live and direct from the Caribbean, guys. So we're going to make some saltfish buljol. Stay with me, have some fun, and we're going to enjoy this recipe, guys. Let's quickly run through the ingredients you're going to need for making saltfish buljol, guys. Now, here's the thing. Some of these ingredients are not traditional. So you may be saying, well, how come Granny never had this in her saltfish buljol? Hey, that's kind of funny. Anyways, this is one of those things that whatever I have in the fridge, I try to put into my saltfish buljol. I'm still laughing for that little Granny thing there. But anyways, guys, here we go. I've got some salted Alaskan pollock. Any sort of salted, dry salted fish. Here it's about 1 pound, but I'm just going to use maybe about half a pound for this recipe. Now, the traditional way of making the saltfish buljol is to use a hot pepper, tomato, onion, and some black pepper probably, and some oil. However, in this recipe, I'm going to shake things up a bit and show you guys a slightly different way of doing things. But of course, I have the hot pepper here, 1 habanero pepper, no seeds. If you're not into the heat, I'm gonna add everything in there, guys. I have 1 tomato, a couple seasoning peppers, no heat to these whatsoever. Again, this is totally optional. You don't have it, you can do without it. I've got 1 scallion here. And something some of you may be saying, oh, what is Chris really up to now? A little piece of cabbage. Trust me on this, guys. I've got about 1/4 of a large bell pepper, sweet pepper, green pepper. We're going to be dicing that up as well. Traditionally, a regular cooking onion is used, but for this recipe, since I won't really be doing much cooking, I'm going to use a red onion. It's going to be a bit more sweeter. It's going to add a nice contrast to the whole dish. Some black pepper and some olive oil. I've got some extra virgin olive oil here, guys. I'm going to use maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of it. Next up, I'm going to show you how to prepare the saltfish and how to assemble everything for the saltfish buljol. The first thing we need to do, guys, is to put up, I have a saucepan here with about 8 cups of water, cold water, and I have the pieces of salted fish in there. I'm guessing it's about half a pound of saltfish that I have in there. Just going to bring that up to a boil and let it boil, sort of a rolling boil for about 15 minutes or so, just to remove the majority of salt. Remember, guys, this is salted fish. It's been cured in salt, so we got to remove all of that salt, or it's going to be absolutely terrible to eat. Now, what you may want to do is do this a couple times, depending on how salty the saltfish is that you have. The one here I'm lucky enough to have is not as salty, so I'm going to just boil it in this hot water here, let it boil, drain it, and then we're going to shred it for making the saltfish buljol. Just the one time, because again, my saltfish is not as salty. While the saltfish is boiling, what I did was, rather than sit around doing nothing, I went ahead and prepared all the other ingredients for the saltfish buljol. Here I have the cabbage all diced up, all shredded, the hot pepper. I left the seeds. Remember, guys, if heat is not your thing, don't include the seeds. I've got the scallion, tomato, the sweet pepper that the bell pepper that I cut up as well, the seasoning or the flavor peppers here, as well as the red onions. Next up, we're just going to shred the saltfish and get ready to assemble everything. The saltfish is already done boiling now, so I removed most of the salt from the saltfish by boiling it. I drained it and then I rinsed it in cold water. So here it is, guys, the saltfish. And what I forgot to mention, I'm using boneless salted fish here. if you're using salted fish with bones in there, here is where you're gonna have to pay attention and remove those bones. Spend the extra $1. I'm not sure how much it's gonna be for you guys, but to buy the already prepared saltfish here. This one is boneless, there's no skin, there's nothing on it. So all I'm gonna do now, guys, and you gotta use your hands for this, is to shred this by breaking it up into the sort of flakes that fish naturally goes into. I'm just gonna go ahead and shred that, and then when I come back, I'll show you guys how to assemble everything. I've gone ahead, guys, and I've shredded up the entire batch of saltfish that I have there. What I forgot to mention to you guys before we did this, squeeze out as much of that liquid, that water that we boiled it in or rinsed it in after. Squeeze it all out so you get a nice dry, flaky, salted fish bits. Now all we're going to do, we're going to add all of these ingredients that we chopped up to the bowl. And then what we're going to do, guys, we're going to hit him some fresh ground black pepper. Maybe about 1/4 teaspoon or so of fresh ground black pepper. Now, if herbs is your thing, you like using fresh herbs, you can certainly put some fresh parsley in here, maybe some cilantro if you want, and just a tiny bit of thyme. Just you don't want to overpower everything. You want to taste that saltfish. I'm just going to give this a good stir, and I just want to show you guys in a frying pan here on a high heat. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of olive oil to heat up. And what we're going to do after I'm done tossing this and mixing it up all good, when that hot oil gets nice and hot, we're going to toss it in here just to release some of the flavors, so everything to marry and become one nice lovely saltfish buljol. Now, working with olive oil, guys, you don't want it to get too hot or it's going to take away from the goodness of it. So the olive oil is nice and hot now. I'm just going to pour it all over here. Maybe I could have used maybe 1 more tablespoon, so maybe about 3 tablespoons of olive oil for that perfect thing. I'm going to give it a quick stir. And that's it, guys. This is one of the best saltfish buljols you'll ever had. Now you will notice there's a quite bit more vegetables than the saltfish. This is just the way I like it. If you want to put some more saltfish in there, by all means do so. Remember, guys, this is non-traditional. I just don't want any of you guys thinking, well, you know what, Chris is leading us around the wrong path. However, this is very tasty on sandwiches. You can even top crackers and make little hors d'oeuvres with this. It's very versatile, guys, but my favorite way of eating this is with fry bake. So I'm going to probably make some fry bake to go with the saltfish buljol. But I do have some ground provisions that I'm boiling, which will also be good with this. Guys, saltfish buljol, remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, give me the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and check out CaribbeanPot.com for all the great Caribbean recipes, guys.